Richie and Ralph represent two different profiles of mob psychopathy, and Tony has to manage both.
If you open your mouth, I'm gonna send your arms where your legs are.
A, she was a hooah. B, she hit me.
Richie returns from prison expecting respect and status, and he sees Tony as a kid who inherited power.
Look, Tom, this is the thing. I want to get my shy business back on its feet. I keep getting these calls from my brother Jack's customers. You want to tell me what just happened?
No more talking business with the skipper directly.
But the world has moved on.
You know, he may never walk again.
Never say never.
No. Say never. He's a shopping cart. From here on out. My nephew Jackie. I couldn't have a son like that. You want to raise your hands, you give her your last name. Until then, keep your hands in your pockets.
Richie has a rigid worldview. He sees disrespect everywhere.
Hey, I moved a lot of H for you and your brother, and you guys made the lion's share. You're just bitter because I invested my money smart.
Richie, because of his life experience in prison, he has a sensitivity to the plight of women.
Oh my God, it's a gun, Janice. Usually he takes the clip out.
Oh, Johnny Sack. They must have free tokens at the tunnel.
Hi, Rich.
Hi, Rich.
Richie's furious when he sees Davey Scatino playing at the executive game before paying Richie back the $8,000 he owes him. I personally would be irritated just like Richie, but there were also other high-level civilian clientele in the room. And if things are going to get all tense and heated like that, those guys aren't going to want to come to the games anymore, with their money, most importantly.
You go home, Richie. This ain't gonna happen to one of my players. What's this?
What's this? It's the jacket.
God, Richie, thank you. Liliana, the remote is down there somewhere, too. It's on the shelves.
Hello, missus. Thank you for TV.
Richie, what's the matter? You all right?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I gotta go.
One of Zannoni's drivers, the illustrated man. Richie's got him running an operation, selling blow along the routes.
Tony.
You don't sell that shit along those routes, you understand me? It stops today. You got it? Don't give me your fucking Manson lamps.
Oh, what do we have here?
Richie dealt coke. Ralph did coke.
Ralphie.
Yo, behave, you.
Hey.
Are you all right?
I gotta go.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just, I feel hot.
Tony passed out from a panic attack when he had a fear of losing his family, like he lost the Ducks. And I think in this case, with Richie, he also feels out of control and like he's going to lose his family, whether it's his sister or control of his crime family.
Well, I think of that jacket I gave your brother, and he spit on it. I could slice an ear off his head.
I'm under indictment.
Sorry, Junior, I don't want to rip open no wounds, but
I'm in no shape for disharmony.
you and I both know he's got to go.
How do I know you're not playing me?
There's a psychological condition known as alexithymia, common in certain personalities. The individual craves almost ceaseless action, which enables them to avoid acknowledging the abhorrent things they do.
Well, he's not satisfied with the current leadership. Must have me popped.
I know how you feel. We lost Mom last year. You remember?
Is everything about everybody really about their mothers?
When we first meet Ralph, it's right after Tony's mother passes away, and we immediately hear Ralph mention his mother too. He'd lost his mother last year, so it appears Ralph's mom was some big presence like Tony's. Overall, when it comes to Ralph, I think trauma and abuse in his childhood played a role in shaping the adult Ralph Cifaretto that we see.
You ever think about your mother?
She's dead.
You two didn't get along very well, right?
She had a demanding ways.
We'll come back to Ralph's mother later. It seems like it doesn't take a lot for Tony to get irritated by Ralph, and he doesn't appreciate Ralph's sense of humor all the time.
You're a captain, Ralphie, when I say you're a captain.
And I'm gonna turn up my hearing aid so I don't miss it.
Are you gonna get cute with me? I got some news you're not gonna like. I'm putting a friend in over there.
At least tell the truth, Tone. You want one of your own people over there so he can spy on the Aprile crew.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have to.
The bottom line speaks loudest. I'm earning my ass off for you.
After Tony passes Ralph over for captain, this is what we see.
I have come to reclaim Rome for my people!
I think Ralph feels like Tony disregarded him here. So Ralph's gonna disregard any impulse control.
Hey, come on.
Tony's furious with Ralph after Ralph kills Tracy, and Ralph knows this. So a couple of episodes later, when Ralph turns down a drink offer from Tony, Tony gets even more pissed and feels more disrespected.
Look good. Want a drink?
Another time, Anthony.
Ralphie's star is rising. All those unions probably can't come near the kind of cash for us.
The thing with Richie is that he made business more difficult, whereas with Ralph, it was more about doing things Tony was personally opposed to.
Ralphie's a good earner. Guy like that, loose cannon. He'll be leaving your house, he'll pull a Jack Ruby on you.
Bottom line spoke loud enough to keep him alive, but not enough to ease Tony's mind.
You know, they're about to break ground on the Esplanade. Talking about millions of dollars here, Tony. Wouldn't hurt either of us to have a point man in there who feels appreciated.
For what it's worth, as angry as Tony is with what Ralph did, these feelings are far from universal. In fact, Johnny Sack thinks it wasn't a big deal either. Just something to think about. Richie says sorry to Tony on one occasion, but it's not very genuine, whereas Ralph has apologized more than once.
I was rude when you offered me to drink. And I disrespected the Bing. And the girl.
Respect the title, you fucking jerk off.
It's your ball. You make the rules.
No, I don't make them. They've always been there. I get mine first and you get yours. That's the way it's gonna be.
And even when Richie does say sorry, when Tony holds him accountable for it, Richie feels slighted by that too.
It was just a suggestion. Keep a happy shop.
Making you captain.
You are?
Ralph Cifaretto, Jonas? Let me ask you a question. Think Ralph's a little weird about women?
I don't know, Tom. I mean, he beat one to death just for, I forget.
For them, receiving pain, being humiliated becomes in and of itself the sexual release. Like many other things, we believe it's rooted in childhood.
You ever think about your mother?
She's dead.
You two didn't get along very well, right?
She had a demanding ways.
When you were a kid, did she ever,
And I gotta go.
More than likely, he had a controlling and punishing mother. She loved him, but showed it only in connection with some sort of violent or abusive act.
That poor kid lost his dad.
I lost mine when I was 6.
You know, Ralph had to drop out in the 11th grade to raise his brothers and sisters.
The biggest thing about Ralph and why he's lasted this long is because of money. The money that he can bring in. Like he said, he earns with 3 hands.
We depend on this guy. There are millions of dollars at stake.
I think Tony felt threatened by Ralph because of the things that Ralph was good at.
$3 million a year from construction this family sees. Sis, she ran your race. You called it. End of story.
3, 4, 5, 6. Depends on which department.
And he felt threatened by Richie because he felt Richie didn't know how to respect Tony's authority, and he was right.
I genuinely don't think there's anything to gain by keeping him around.
For Ralph, I don't think Ralph was looking to take Tony's spot or had an objection in principle to taking orders from Tony, but at the same time, he was such a wild card. Although I'd argue that some of that wild card energy was triggered by Tony.
Seeing that girl you used to date, that Valentina. Maybe you should go see Pi.
If Junior hadn't told Tony about Richie, and if Janice hadn't taken care of it herself, what do you think would have happened with Richie? Would he have tried to pop Tony himself? And if Tony hadn't put Ralph into early retirement, would Ralph have tried to do the same thing to Tony? And what would have become of Ralph later in the series? I personally don't think Ralph would have tried to whack Tony. Now, I certainly do think Richie was ready to do that to Tony. Were either Richie or Ralph capable of change?
And what difference would it make? You said so yourself. It's in the blood. It's hereditary.
Genetic predispositions are only that, predispositions. It's not a destiny written in stone.
So what, you've grown?
Well, you tell me. Did you ever think you'd see Richie Aprile doing a downward-facing dog?
That's okay. Go do what you gotta do.
Maybe if I met a girl like Camilla, my life could have taken a whole different trajectory.
Who do I think was more dangerous to Tony? Definitely Richie Aprile. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video on Ralph Cifaretto and Richie Aprile. I'd love to hear from you.